Hey everybody, Mint Chocolate Chip said I'd be back. This is episode 3. So, building kind of right off of where we left off with fantastic damage. Gonna be doing the same thing, but now we're gonna talk specifically about doing damage that is normal. So, normal damage is the same thing as kind of like your basic attack damage. So, similar vein, bonus, again, in the port, in the docks, they have fantastic immunity, so you're gonna want to be doing normal damage in order to kind of get through to them. Now, this is a little bit more difficult because skill power basically means nothing when you're doing normal damage. Really, what you're going to want to be optimizing, I'm going to show you characters that do some normal damage regularly, but then the other thing is you're going to want to really be taking advantage of the similar debuff to scaring, which is studying. So really the two characters that study the most, that's kind of funny to think about, but is Barbosa. So Barbosa's scan the horizon will scan all the enemies. Now this has a chance to fail, but it does the same thing. See, attacks that do normal damage always crit against studied enemies. That's important because your basic damage is going to be doing normal damage generally. And the other one here is Baymax. Baymax is way less viable because Baymax is only going to be scanning one at a time. It's the one with the highest armor. But I mean, you could use it. I mean, that's a bonus there. But you're going to want to be taking advantage of study. And then the second thing is you're going to want to take advantage of skills that boost your basic damage or your normal damage. The one I'm thinking of the most, and the one I personally use the most, is Animal. If you look at Animal's, let's see. So 1, double time. He's going to be increasing your attack and movement speed, which if you think about, like, you're doing your basic attacks, and the faster you're moving, the more damage you'll be able to get out right away. And then in the groove, again, he's boosting your attack speed, and then he grants your allies, look at that crazy number, 71,000 basic damage for 6 seconds. Now this is even like this is 150, like on my server the max is 160, and with more skill power you can actually increase that number. So that's incredible. His Gonzo disc, even now you're not going to be using it for the shield that it gives you, it's kind of useless, but every 5 seconds, at 5 stars it's going to be 25%. He's going to increase your attack speed for the rest of the wave. So there you go. Animal, huge bonus if you're kind of building around your normal damage or your basic damage. Some of the other ones, Beast. Now Beast does do some fantastic damage, but again, you're building around his Rage of the Beast, which again, you're looking at attack, movement speed, studies. Those are going to be huge for your normal damage team. And then, as I've kind of mentioned in some of the other things, and if you look on the subreddit and in some of the discords, like Beast is really annoying because he actually can infinite this Rage of the Beast, where he can't be killed while it's active because he's in Rage. So he cannot fall below 1 HP, and if he's tanking that if he's taking damage and dealing it fast enough, but he can actually get his white skill off before the other team can kill him. So huge. I would highly recommend using the Beast if you're kind of going after a top tier normal damage team. So similar to what I did in the last video, I'm gonna throw in a couple. I'm not gonna do any battles, but just so you can see kind of what I would be working with a normal damage team. So this is one where you're optimizing just to do that normal damage and do a lot of it. So actually, let's see. This is one that I would use. So it doesn't have a healer, but again, now I'm kind of going after a different look here. So BoPeep actually can decrease their armor. I'll just throw up her skill really quick so you guys can see it. But her deflection spin does damage, knocks back to the enemies, but then if you look at her others, let's see. Maybe it is in her skill. So her woody disc. There you go. Oh, it's over there on the left. Sorry, it took me so long to find it. But enemies damaged by deflection spin, which is her white skill, lose 33,000 armor for 10 seconds, and it can stack up to 5 times. So I mean, if you think about it, like, deflection spin hits 5 times. For the next 10 seconds, they have 150,000 less armor. Huge bonus. And then allies deal 75% more damage to enemies with an armor debuff. So again, like if I was building around the fantastic or a normal damage team, this would be huge. Animal, every 5 seconds, he's adding that attack speed. And then if I'm looking at Beast, as soon as he gets his white off, he can start infinite. Just he will not die, and he will just take out the other team. Scar goes invisible, and he can silence the other team. He's kind of like a damage that also does some control because he's silencing them, so they can't use their skills. Duke has his main skill. Now, he's not necessarily going to be my main damage dealer, but his skill here is Stunt Spectacular. He's going to be running across and just doing so much damage as he's going through, and they can't really stop him once he kind of gets going with his skills, and it really helps you take out those backline characters. And BoPeep, as soon as she gets her white going, she'll start throwing out those armor debuffs and just like push through the whole team because she's pushing them back and getting them all to one spot, making it real easy. So top tier team right here if you want to go for it. Another quick tip too is that Goofy can actually make your increase attack speed, and if you kind of pair Goofy with Animal, like you're just gonna see some blurs because they're gonna be attacking so fast, especially when you pair it with Beast. Beast is just gonna like all of a sudden just like wipe out characters all over the place. So there you go. So again, kind of talking fast, talking through it a little bit, but I want you guys to get a little feel for it. If you're gonna build around a normal damage team, you have a little bit more to work with. It's a little bit harder to find, but you're gonna look for armor debuffs, huge help and bonus. You're gonna look for some studies. You can if you want to, somewhat helpful, because you're gonna do some more crits. But really, you're gonna look for building up that basic damage, and you're gonna want to look for like increasing basic damage, increasing movement speed, because you're gonna be attacking just so much faster. So I'll throw in the last bonus team. This is one that's kind of fun to work with, where you're kind of taking advantage of studies. So this one was meta for a really long time, super funny. What you'll throw up is you'll throw in Barbossa, you'll throw in Aladdin, and then I would throw in some others. Hercules and Gaston do normal damage as well, and then you're gonna throw in Merlin. Merlin has an ability where every time someone does a critical hit, that he can gain energy, and then his main skill is that he turns the enemy characters into squirrels so they can't really attack or use their skills. So think about this. So with Barbossa's disc, you're going to want this disc right here, the Tia Dalma disc. He studies at the very beginning. And then with Aladdin, he enters the battle and immediately attacks, which is a normal damage attack. And then you have two others that are here to do a little bit of control because they can stun, but then they also do normal damage. So it's really funny. So I won't show you guys because I just want to keep this real short, but what will happen immediately is that Merlin will just immediately, if it's on auto, just like turn one of the characters into a squirrel right away. If they don't have any protections against doing a critical hit, or you're a high enough level where your Barbossa is going to be out-leveled by the other character, so he automatically studies, it's going to be so funny. All of a sudden, Merlin's just going to turn the whole team into squirrels, and it'll be gone. So another normal damage team takes advantage of the study, and it is really funny. It's really fun to watch. It's one of those fun ones that I like to throw in, or if you're stuck in a guild war or Coliseum and you're trying to fill in some of these like fun team comps. I'll have a whole nother team comp where I talk about some of the other builds around this. This is one specific for Merlin, but there's a lot of others out there. So look for that in future videos, but I'll leave it there for you guys. That's quick tips on building a normal damage team. Again, leave comments, find me on Reddit, find me on Discord. Love to have you guys have some input. So I can have stuff that you guys will really benefit from. So with that, I will see you around.